Hi, my name is Chris Kluber, and this is going to be a video blog on my journey over the next roughly 10 months to Leadville. I've been invited to do the Leadville 100 bike race, and I am looking to do that and not get swept off the course. So this is going to be a video blog based on that. Where I am today is it's November 10th, 2019. I am on my back deck at my house in Omaha, Nebraska. So of course I'm not at altitude, and Leadville, I believe, starts at 10.2 and goes over 12.5 three times. Total of 14,000 feet, 107-mile race. So a little background on where this is and why this is kind of a big deal for me. Let's see. Well, if you go back far enough, go back about 10 years. Here's a video, here's a picture, kind of hard to see, but I'll pull that up there. That was me, and that's my lovely bride, Rika, back when I was a fat bastard. Whew. I weighed close to 260 then. And used to drink, smoke, all that. I've retired from drinking. I like to say I turned pro in the 80s and retired in the early 2000s for drinking. And no more smoking. A pretty healthy lifestyle. I feel like the luckiest guy in the world now. About 4 years ago, I went through and had a pretty traumatic time. Turned out I needed to get a new knee. So I had my knee replaced, prosthetic knee, and don't want to show you my junk, prosthetic hip. So these are recent x-rays that I had just to sort of get an update of where it was. This year, my wife is an ultramarathoner, and I thought I would try and keep up with her. And I never kept up with her, but I did actually complete 3 ultramarathons. I did Pi, Ice Age, and the Afton Alps up in Minnesota. So those were a really fun experience. But we also did the TMB, the Tour of Mont Blanc around Mont Blanc in France. It's Switzerland, France, and Italy. And I did, my wife and I did about 140 miles. But long story short is my knee started hurting a little bit, and I got really spooked that I had screwed it up, which would have been completely my fault. My surgeon was not happy, but I did go in and see him a few weeks ago and paid to have some x-rays done. And the prosthetics are still strong. So I'm still strong. So I have decided, and then we also, my wife and I do couples, and we do retreats, as well as the strategic planning and the speaking events that I do. And with that, we had a couple that flew in to participate in one of our retreats. It was so humbling. Oh my God, it was awesome. Really wonderful to have these people here. And we pushed them kind of hard and helped them try and think things differently and look at things differently. And where it ended up, though, is I realized one of them was a former ER. They're both ER docs, and one of them had a bunch of experience with orthopedics. And he's just like, dude, you really shouldn't be doing those ultras. It's just not healthy for you. In the long run, it's going to bite you. So I started thinking about that, taking that to heart. He's a little bit older than I am, and just one of the fittest people I know. He does it cycling. I used to love to cycle, and so I started thinking, and I pinged him and I said, hey dude, what do you think about an endurance race that I could set a goal for, for a bicycle race? And he pinged me back and said, we live in Leadville, and I happen to be the race director for Leadville. So I think I can figure out how to get you on there if you want to do that. And I'm just like, ooh. Leadville is, in my opinion, is one of the hardest, most iconic bike races in the world. It's just stunning. So even to have the opportunity is crazy. So started researching it, thinking about it, and yeah. So I've decided it's completely unreasonable at 52 with prosthetics and a full-time job and loving life and being so fortunate with where I am. But yeah, all people who do Leadville train at 800 feet in Nebraska. What could go wrong? But I also am a huge believer that sometimes extraordinary lives in the unreasonable, and it's our obligation to be unreasonable. I just gave a talk on this down at the global conference in Tampa, and I'm like, maybe I need to practice what I preach. Scary as hell as that is, probably a good thing. So that's the purpose of this video blog. We're going to go through and I'm going to tell you about what I'm looking at for bicycles, what I'm doing for nutrition, how I'm going to do my health, how my process in finding a coach, and we'll see how that goes. But overall, I think it's going to come down to 4 steps. First one is I need to lose a bunch of weight. I'm fit, but to be there, I need to be really lean. So I've talked to a couple docs on that, got a clean bill on that, and working, I'm going to push hard on that. I need to figure out how to train really consistently even when the weather's crappy. So I've just figured out Zwift, and I will be showing what that setup looks like, but it's an online version where you can ride with others and see other people around the world. It's interesting. There goes somebody right now out our backyard on a fat tire. Kind of cool. And what the whole bike journey is. 100 years ago, I was a wrench. I used to work on bikes, so I kind of had an idea, and I started looking, and holy smokes, there's like a whole different way of looking at bicycling and what all that looks like. And then also just the process of building a plan. How do I achieve that? My goal is to not get swept. We'll see. I think anybody who shows up and does a pretty good job does all right, but okay sucks. I don't want okay. I want to see if I can really do this well. So that's my plan, is I'm going to go do Leadville. And humbled that you guys have taken the time to listen to me ramble through, and little by little we'll start building it out. But who knows where it'll go, and I appreciate you taking the time. Keep smiling. Thank you.